This year, healing has a sound, transformation has a story, and your breakthrough has a seat waiting for you. On Saturday, February 28, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., join us at Ujima Socials in Dallas, Texas, for the powerful Keeping It All Together, Becoming Who God Called Me to Be Women's Conference. A movement birthed from the memoir that's already changing lives. Keeping It All Together, Healing and Becoming Who God Called Me to Be. The story, the testimony, the ministry, and now, the conference. Experience 4 dynamic speakers who will pour, teach, and pull you into your next level. Be inspired by our keynote speaker, minister and author, Stephanie M. Seaton, as she delivers a message straight from the throne room. This is your moment to breathe again, to release what's been weighing you down, to rediscover the woman God designed before the world tried to break her. 2026 is your year, and Stephanie's personal motto declares it boldly: no more holding back. So don't hold back your healing. Don't hold back your growth. Don't hold back your transformation. Reserve your seat today. Step into the room where healing happens, sisterhood thrives, and destiny calls you by name. The Keeping It All Together Conference. Because when God puts you back together, you don't just survive, you rise.
Thank you for tuning in. A live stream new episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show will be starting soon with your host, minister, and author Stephanie M. Seaton. If you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, email Stephanie at stephaniemseatontheauthor@gmail.com.
Well, hello. It seems like it's been a while. We had our Thanksgiving break, but we are back in the studio with a live show tonight. Welcome, a return guest, Miss Cynthia Ferguson.
Hello, everyone.
I am happy to be back. Last week, it seemed like a dream, with Thanksgiving. I had a pre-recorded show on Thursday. Me and my son did come on for a few minutes on Tuesday. And Isaiah spoke to the crowd and kind of said Thanksgiving. And he said a prayer on Tuesday. So we did have about a 10-minute broadcast with a Thanksgiving message. But it feels good to be back. So happy to have you back. Friend of the show, Miss Cynthia Ferguson. Wow. So since we talked last, you have published a book. You are on a new school campus. You've got a lot of new things going on. And so tonight we are going to talk about all things Cynthia. So just so happy to have you here tonight. We've got several people that have just chimed in. So I know you got some watchers tonight. So if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to put those in, and we will definitely try our best to answer your questions. For all of you that are just tuning in, we are going to be talking to Cynthia Ferguson tonight. Please go ahead, like, tag, share. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and grab your popcorn because we are about to get started. Oh, I love the decorations in the back.
My Christmas.
Yes, I started putting my Christmas decorations up as well. So literally the next day after Thanksgiving.
That's when I started. That's when I put mine up, day after.
Yes. So let me give you an introduction, Miss Cynthia. You have just done so many and are doing so many amazing things. I definitely want to shed light on several of the things that you've got going on. We definitely want to talk about your new book project. Beautiful cover. And just, how you're going to be inspiring people by telling your story. So Miss Cynthia is a devoted servant of the Lord, certified life coach, and visionary behind Courageous Conqueror Life and Empowerment Coaching. She is the founder of the Wolfettes Girls Group, which I had the pleasure of being able to mentor and go and talk with. And we did a pitch competition on last year. Board president of Divas Build Futures in Her Homes LLC. Board secretary of the Legacy Preparatory Charter Academy Education Foundation. In addition to her many leadership roles, Cynthia also serves full-time as a school nurse / medic. Proud mother of 3 sons, 30, 27, and 9. Before we came on camera, we were actually talking about that. She has a 30, 27, and 9. I have a 30 and 10. So you are doing a lot of amazing things, Miss Cynthia. Let's just kind of kick it off and talk a little bit about the Wolfettes. We cannot have an interview and not talk about the Wolfettes. So catch me up. What's been going on with the Wolfettes?
Oh my gosh, I'm excited because this is our 12th year of the Wolfettes Empowerment Group. I know. God has been so good in allowing me to continue to mentor these young ladies. Through the school, I've mentored probably close to 300 young ladies over the years.
Wow.
And it's exciting. It's exciting. And moving to this new campus, they had never had the Wolfettes there. They knew about it because it's the same district, just a different campus. So I'm bringing it over there. The staff are excited. So I felt like I'm trying to start it over again. But it's not. I have about the same amount of girls that I had at the other campus.
Okay.
And that's not even with all 3 levels. I had to start out with 2 levels because, I had the mini Wolfettes, the junior Wolfettes, and the Wolfettes. So I only have the original Wolfettes and the junior this year.
Okay.
So we're planning on growing. We're planning on growing.
Well, I know that it will be successful. I know that
I have to say, this year I also decided, because the young men were asking for a program, so I decided to go ahead and I founded the Young Men's Program. We're starting out with just a couple of grade levels, and they're going to be the Wolverines.
Oh, I love it. Wolverine. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think the Lord is doing something, Cynthia, because for so long, we as women have been the ones it was really easy for us to come together, talk, and have a good time, express our feelings and our thoughts, And I don't think we ever really thought much about guys wanting to, and then, if we look at stereotypes, they're not really given the opportunity to, if we talk about generational stuff, right?
Right.
But we're living in an age now where I feel like the Lord is doing something new, where he's healing so many people. He's healing us from so much generational stuff that we've now came to the revelation that men have thoughts and feelings too. They want to talk. They want to be mentored, but for so long, the focus was never there. It wasn't that it wasn't needed, but it wasn't there. And so I think this is amazing what you're doing by getting the young men involved. I know they're probably excited. Starting programs like this in schools, not only does it help them, mentally and emotionally behind the scenes, but I'm sure it helps them academically as well, right?
Yes. And it's so funny though that you mentioned that, because, you're always going to have some of the young people that are going to fight it, that are going to come in trying to be the person and be the bad one and stuff. And I've had teachers before tell me, it's like, well, why would you allow them in that program? They don't deserve to be in there because they're doing this, and that. I said, those are the ones that I need. Those are the ones that I need
the most
to reach. Yes, you can have good grades, you can do all that and still be in the program. But the ones that need it the most, they're acting out for a reason.
That's right.
So I know. So I'm excited. I'm so excited this year.
I'm excited too, because doing what you're doing, you are making a difference. And I say so often when I talk to people like yourself who are pouring back into the community and mentoring and just being that solid foundation, I wish there had been something like this for me when I was in school, when I was in elementary, when I was in middle school, because there just weren't that many programs where you could get that assistance. It's almost like, you're standing in the gap, not like you are standing in the gap, between family and school. You're kind of standing in there, being able to hear and to listen and see what's really going on, So,
Right.
yeah.
Yes, it is exciting, and I'm very grateful that the school has allowed me over the years to actually start the program in the first place. But to be year 12, I mean,
that's amazing.
I know.
That is amazing, and I know I had the opportunity to tour, and so you guys have the fashion show going on. You've had several Miss Texases come and visit. You've just had you made so many milestones and just things for these young people to look forward to. And I know it's just going to continue to grow. Like 12 years. Wow. Does it even seem like 12 years, Cynthia?
No, it doesn't. I have to go back and look sometimes because it's like, is it year 10 or is it no? And I have to go back because I keep a list of all the fashion shows, all their themes, what we did, and stuff like that. And so, I'm still looking for a theme for this year. But, with adding the Wolverines, you never know.
Yeah, that's amazing. For all of you that are just tuning in, we are talking to Cynthia Ferguson. She is a author. She is a founder. She is a visionary. She's a life coach. She's got so many amazing things going on. And we're just happy to be able to tune in tonight and kind of catch up with her. We just got you talking about the Wolfettes and now the Wolverines. They have expanded and are now offering programs for young men as well. We're going to give Cynthia's contact information here before we end. And if you are interested in finding out more information about this, make sure that you reach out to Cynthia, or if you want to offer some type of opportunity for the Wolfettes and the Wolverines, make sure that you reach out to her through social media, and she'll give you all of her contact for that. Now, let's talk about your book. I read the back of the book. You are very, I guess I could say, empathetic to children, to just people in general that are going through things. And you volunteer your time, with not only your organization, but with other organizations as well. And you're constantly pouring back, and it's all to the youth. And I'm like, wow, your book, You Wouldn't Believe It If I Told You. This is a book about your story. A reminder that even though you had trials in your life and you went through some things, God will still show up and show out, that whatever we go through, that's not the final say so, right? And we're not operating in our own power, but it's the Lord. It's not you, it's not me, but we're operating through the Lord and keeping going in our faith. Tell us, what was the inspiration behind your book, You Wouldn't Believe It If I Told You?
It's funny because I never thought ever in my life that I would write a book, ever, because I barely like to read.
Yeah.
But, so it's been a struggle when I start a book that I would never finish it. And I would put it down, and my intentions were to finish it. And then it would be like, no, I don't have time. I would make every excuse. So when the Lord put it on my heart that I was going to write a book, I was like, yeah, I don't think so. But it was weird because I worked in a clinic setting, and ever since I was young, before I even was an adult, my friends I was the one that my friends would come to, or, family, brothers, sisters, cousins. Hey, what do you think about this? How do we handle this? They would always come to me, and I'm like, I'm just a kid. I don't know. But obviously it was something.
Yeah.
So as I got older and I was working, the ladies or the young girls in the office would come to me and just, hey, I got this situation, or what do you think about this? And I never knew that I was saying this, but I always tell them, you're not going to believe this if I tell you this, but I had that happen to me. I had that happen to me. And it was like constantly, always, whatever they came to, it had happened to me. And I started thinking, why is all this happening to me?
Right.
But a good friend of mine, she was a big inspiration there. She came to me one day and she says, you need to write a book. And I was like, a book? She says, yeah. She goes, and I have a title for you. She said, the name of your book is, you're not going to believe this if I told you. And I laughed because we had this conversation before about me always saying that.
Yeah.
And I left it alone. I laughed about it. Well, many years later, after my husband had his stroke and I was going through a lot of things, it popped up again. The Lord put it on my heart that I need to write a book. He always catches me and always gives me my inspiration or whatever when I'm in the bathroom or the shower or something, when I'm alone. That's my only alone time.
Yeah.
And so he told me, you're going to write that book, and it's going to be, you wouldn't believe it if I told you, it's going to be a book about faith. And so that's where the title came from. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. It took a long time because I started that book in 2009. And then I set it down for many years. And halfway through, the Lord told me pick it up again, and I added a couple more things and I put it down.
Yeah.
And I don't think I had enough belief in myself. I really didn't to write a book.
Yeah.
And he really put people in my life. You were one of them, with your stories and your about everything you went through, and made me realize, you know what, I do need to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was kind of the inspiration and how things got started.
Okay. Was there one moment or one experience that kind of sparked the desire to share it through the book once you got the inspiration to write the book? Was there one particular moment or experience that sparked the desire to kind of go ahead and share the journey in a book?
As a matter of fact, there was. It was one day or over a period of time, I was thinking, why have I been chosen to go through all these things? I was a kid when I dealt with this, or I was, I didn't know enough, but I always thought I didn't know enough, but why was I the one chosen? I wasn't questioning it and like, why was I chosen? But why was I chosen? I was really trying to find out why I was chosen.
Right.
And I remember going to my pastor one day and I set up a meeting with him. I said, what's wrong with me? And he's like, what do you mean, what's wrong with you? I said, because I have all these things that I've dealt with. I've had tragedy and another tragedy in my life, another, all these things. I said, but I keep going. I just keep going. And it's like, what's wrong with me? I see people who lose people who have tragedies in their life, and they're broken, or they're, they turn to alcohol, or they turn to drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
God that I didn't, but I was like, what's wrong with me that I deal with it and I move forward. Right. And he reminded me, he says, he gives me this little scenario, and he reminded me that said, remember, God's going to give you the peace that surpasses all man's understanding. When he said that, I just felt this release.
Wow.
Release. Because I knew I've always known that's what it was because of God. But when he said the words, it was like really hit, and it was just like a big release.
Yeah. Wow. What was the most challenging part about writing, something so personal? And how did you navigate through that, being so vulnerable?
I think the challenging part was because I had to really be transparent about some stuff, because if I was going to do this, I needed to make sure that if I'm going to be able to help somebody through this book, that I have to be transparent.
That's right.
And there's one chapter in the book where I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to write that or not, because I had to reveal to my son something that happened to me. Mm-hmm. And that was I think that's one of the things that held me back. It was scary. And I remember having lunch with him one day, and he's like, Mom, how's the book coming along? What's the holdup? And that was a perfect opportunity. I said, well, this is the truth. The holdup is, this is the situation. This is what happened to me. But I have to put it in the book.
Yeah.
And I remember he reached across the table, grabbed my hand. He said, Mom, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that.
Yeah.
He said, you gotta do it. And so I think, you think about it, things that happen to you, it's like, oh, that's embarrassing. People don't see me that way. People don't. But then again, I've always said, you know what, if I'm going to be the one to help somebody or to help guide them, they need to see, just because I'm standing right now and, we see people and we don't think that there's anything wrong with them. Oh, they would never understand. Look at them. They've got this. Yeah. No. I needed to make sure that I was that person, that I was going to be truthful and transparent. Yeah. And also hoping that, it would help one person. I know that sounds cliche, but
I get it.
Yeah. If it helps one person, that's it. That's it. And in writing the book, that's what my intentions were, is to help others. It was actually healing for me.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I know. One thing about it, when we're in our flesh, we think about the fact that, oh my God, I'm telling my business,
right.
Because you're like, Lord, I don't want to do that. But when we get in the spirit part of it, the Lord reveals to us that it's ministry. And in order for you to help people, for them to see him, because what it does when they read all of our stuff, it points people to him.
Exactly.
Because when they look at us, they can't tell that we've been through the things that we are talking about, because he just cleans you up that good, and so that's the thing, is we're not telling our laundry and because of ourselves in the first place. It's not about us, but it's about giving the Lord glory. And I remember, when I wrote my first book, and the Lord was telling me to put some stuff in the book, and I was like, oh, I don't want to put that in the book. Yeah. And, the Lord was like, no, put it in the book. And someone that I know right before I released the book actually tried to use that, something, I did put it in the book, but had I not put it in the book, it would have been used against me.
Exactly.
And so that's the thing, the Lord already knew that. And so when he has you, minister and be transparent, he's thinking about Sally down the road, Tammy down the road, James and John and everybody else down the road that's struggling with that very thing. And the enemy has convinced them that nobody, is going through what you're going through. And then somebody's going to pick that book up, and they're going to be like, oh, I'm not the only one, and that helps you to stand a little taller, to know I'm not the only one who made that mistake or who went through that thing. And look how the Lord brought them out or got them to the other side. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in people. It's like, wow, I can't believe that they've dealt with that or they've been through that. Look at them. They're just, and so I had to think back at that and think, okay, that needs to be me now, because I don't know who I'm going to catch, if it's going to be the younger generation, the older generation, male, female. It doesn't matter to me, because we all go through things.
That's right.
And it may not be the exact similar, but the feelings or the grief or whatever we're dealing with can resemble each other. Grief is grief.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Writing this book, I know that it's changed you. I can only imagine in what ways it's changed you. kind of reveal to us how it's changed you, and also has it strengthened your relationship with the Lord?
Oh gosh, yes. It has definitely strengthened my relationship with the Lord, because I trusted him to get through all of this, and the mindset of opening up and revealing some things, and telling people, things that had gone on in the household, or, that people don't see, and it made me realize that I knew I had the faith, and I knew I believed in him. I knew he was faithful to me, but it made me really realize how faithful he was to me when I read it, from when it started to where I'm at. I'm like, because you don't think of that all the time. You only think of what happened last week, or last month this happened, and okay, I made it through there. But when you're forced to, I shouldn't even say forced, but when you write down things of things that you've gone through, and
the whole lifespan.
Yes, it's like, oh my gosh, he has really been faithful to me. His work, yes, I know. So it has been that. And as for me, it has made me a little. No, not a little bit. It's made me bolder.
Yeah,
it has made me bolder, and I'm ready to. Let's go. Let's do it.
It's funny you should say that, because the new thing that the Lord has settled in my heart and in my mind is no more holding back.
Wow.
Because, I finally said yes. I finally started doing the work on another level, but I found myself still kind of saying what I need to say, but not saying enough, because I was still worried about people and things and thoughts. And so for me, moving forward, like in the last couple of days until now and forever, the thing the Lord keeps planting in my mind and in my spirit is no more holding back. I'm not watering myself down anymore. I'm not watering down my anointing. I'm not watering down my call. Like, whatever the Lord tells me to say or to do, I have to do it. I can't worry about people anymore. And it takes a growth in him to be able to get to that point. We have to die more of our flesh, if that makes sense, to be able to get to that point. Yeah,
it does make sense. And you saying that, I just thought, what, I'm getting older and I really don't care anymore who thinks.
yeah
And that's part of it, but it's like, it is growth. It is growth, because you have to, just like with anything, you have to trust the person, that you're next to, the person that you work with, the person that we can say all day, we trust God, but do we really trust him, like, with everything?
Yeah.
And that's just growth. It is.
Yeah. And he'll put you through the test. He'll put you through the test to see if you really trust him.
Yes, because he's testing me right now, and I trust him. I trust him so much.
Yeah. It's that blind faith. It's that blind faith that, what, Lord, I don't know. And I've gotten to that point in my own life, Cynthia. I'm like looking around, and I'm like, am I supposed to go here? Am I supposed to do that? Because, like I was telling you before, I don't want to just be doing stuff. Right. I want to do what he actually wants me to do, because I want him to go before me and go with me. Yes. And so I don't want to just be, and so I'm always like, okay, Lord, what am I supposed to be doing? And I'm like, this doesn't look like what I think, but I'm trusting you. And that's the part where, you do that blind faith thing that, what, I'm going to start this. And if I have to stop because this wasn't what you wanted me to do, it's okay, because guess what? I started it.
Exactly.
You can't, we should want to live and please God in a way that we don't have any, regrets.
Right.
We don't have any regrets. But if we really think that he said go left, go left. Right. And if you're not supposed to go left, he's still with you. Yeah. He's still with you. He's gonna guide you back around. But we just have to trust him by faith until he, it's kind of like that it's kind of like that thing, and it says when the Lord leads you on a journey, he'll show you one stair, but he doesn't show you the whole staircase.
Right.
You just got to trust that there's some more stairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You really do. You have to trust that, and you have to know that, like you said, he will guide you. He may let you go a little bit just so you can see, okay, this is not of me. It feels awkward because I think we do know, and sometimes, like you said, our flesh is, we want it so bad, or we want it right there, that we're willing to try to push it. Yeah. But I'm like you. I'm so thankful and grateful that he will
protect us.
Yeah. He will reroute us. Yeah. It's not always how we want it. It's not always how we see it, but if he does it, then we're good.
Hey, I'm grateful for the no's.
Exactly.
I'm grateful for the no's. He loves us enough to say no. He loves us enough to redirect us.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing. Let me ask you, what do you hope readers walk away with after reading this story? What do you hope the take is for the readers?
That they really see how faithful God is, and that they seek him even more. Because if they can see some of the things that I've gone through, some of the things in your book that you've gone through, some of the things that others, that they really just let go. What's the saying? Let go and let God. That they really, really will learn or start to look or seek him, so that they can find out for themselves. One of the things that I've always said is, I don't see how people do it without God.
No, I don't.
And some people don't understand if they've never felt that before. Some people don't understand a miracle if they've never seen one. Some people don't understand. Yes. And it's a different level when you understand it. But I just pray that they will get that first little glimpse.
Yeah.
And want more. It's like, oh, wow, he did this for me.
Let me tell you something. I mean, you are talking, Cynthia. My mom and I were, me, my mom, and my son, I was driving the other day, and we were talking, and I think we went to Walmart. So I parked in the parking lot because this song came on, and it was one of those flashback moments, like you just talked about a few minutes ago, where I really started thinking about what the Lord has done for me. I started thinking about how he made a way out of no way, like literally when I didn't have money, I didn't have food, I didn't have whatever I didn't have, or how I felt like I was at my last, my last straw, my last whatever. And some kind of way, just one word from him, one touch from him changed the situation. It changed me in the situation. And I literally, like a movie, just started replaying all the things that the Lord has done. Not all, but a lot of the things that the Lord has done for me. And Cynthia, I said right there in that moment, I don't understand how people don't think there is a God.
Exactly.
I mean, there is no way that anyone could ever convince me that there is not a God, because I see him in everything. I see him from the beginning, the middle, the end of all the things that he does in my life on a daily basis. And I'm just so grateful that he chooses us like that. And I was telling my mom and my son, I was just like, I almost lost it in the Walmart parking lot. I was just like, there is no way, there is no way. He is just that kind of a God, right?
He is. And then just little reminders, like you said, it could be a song that, it'll take you all the way back, or it may take you just to something that you're dealing with right there. About a month or so ago, we had a guest speaker, and this song had been on my mind for like maybe a week, the one that I trust in God, my Savior, the one. Okay.
Yes, I love it.
I would sing it and sing it and sing it in my mind, And it was in a situation that I was dealing with. And the guest speaker that day at church, he went through his host sermon. It was awesome. And then it led him into saying about trusting in God, and he went into that song.
Yep.
And I did. I was just trying to hold it together. And it was just one of those reminders that God reminded me, I hear you.
Yes.
I know where you're at.
Yes.
We know it, but it's like sometimes we need the reminder that I hear you. I'm there. I know. And so, yes, so it does make a difference, to think back about it. And again, I have family and friends that are like, I don't see how you do it, Cynthia. I don't see how you've done that. And I will never take credit for it, ever take credit for it. I tell them all the same. It's not me.
Yeah, it's him.
It's all God, because if it were me, I'd be dead, alcoholic, drug addict, whatever. And he's
it's all him, and it's his undying love,
yes,
his grace and his mercy.
Yes.
I mean, it's the Lord has so many attributes as to why we love him, why we're so grateful and so thankful. And I'm always just thinking to myself, like, he loves us in spite of.
Yes.
And that's the thing, because we know we're not deserving. We know we're not. We battle with 20,000 crazy thoughts all day,
Yes.
or more. Yes. And he knows how crazy those thoughts are, but he still will protect us from hurt, harm, and danger,
And it's such a big relief when you finally realize that, because we're harder on ourselves and we don't forgive ourselves.
Yeah.
And when you finally realize you don't need to hold on to that, God is not holding on to that. It's just a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. And I just pray that for everybody, that they will get to that point where they realize, hey, you're freedom. Yeah.
Freedom in Christ, because the enemy would have us to be caught up in the self-condemnation, so that we don't appreciate or we're not able to fully experience the love of the Lord. And that is not the will of God, that we be, in self-condemnation. We need to step back and take a look at the grace and the mercy that the Lord offers us, and we need to extend it to ourselves. A lot of times, Cynthia, we extend it to everybody else, but not ourselves. Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yes. Well, Miss Cynthia, it has been a pleasure talking to you tonight, author of the new book, You Wouldn't Believe It If I Told You. Beautiful cover. Tell the guests, how can they get in touch with you? What platforms can they reach out to you on?
Well, of course, I always have my website is courageousconqueror.com. Email is cynthia@courageousconqueror.com. I'm on Facebook at Courageous Conqueror. I have a phone number. I don't know if you can see this, or if it's even a screen.
972-921-9992.
Yes. And of course, Facebook, I'm on there as Cynthia Ferguson as well. And I also have a Wolfettes page. It's Wolfettes Empowerment Group on Facebook. So there's many ways they can reach out to you, and you can give them my information. Before we go, I do want to say something, because it's been so exciting being able to release this. And I'm not talking about the book itself, but to release this. And before I even finish this book, I told you God speaks to me when I'm in the bathroom, in the shower. Before I even finished this book, I was halfway through it. God revealed to me the title of my second book. And I'm like, Lord, I haven't even finished this first book.
Oh, wow.
I wrote it down. And then that was when I was halfway through this book. So right when I was about to release this book, it was probably about a year later, after halfway through this book, God spoke to me again and told me, here's your third book. I'm like, Lord, I haven't even published my first book. You gave me the title of my second book. I don't understand this. I said, but I'm going to write it down. And he told me, he says, the third one is not going to be a book. It's going to be a collection of, not a series, but a collection of different things. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't say anything about it. I don't see it, but I trust that he's going to bring it.
Yeah, he's going to.
Yes.
Going to bring it to you, and what he's doing is this is similar to what he did with me, because I wrote one book thinking I was just going to write one book, and then the titles kept coming. The Lord would give me the title of every book and then the content. That's how it would happen for me. I would dream it. For me, it was dreaming it, waking up out of my sleep, and I would hear my voice, but his words. And I would have to get up and record myself, or, let my computer, just talk into my computer and let it record, because I could hear the book.
Wow.
So yeah, it sounds like that's what's going on for you, but you have many, many books that you're going to be writing. And, we had that conversation a while back. That was when you were in denial.
You saw that part. you met that person.
Yes, I did. And I was like, okay. And I kept on trying to come back and get you going. I was like, come on, Cynthia. You were like, no, I'm not quite ready. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But, in God's timing, and, he's got you on a roll now. And I will just say, continue to seek him. He will continue to give you the titles, and trust him. If he gives you the title, he'll give you the material. And he's got the people that need that book. And so just stay encouraged. I'm so happy for you on your journey that you've now began. And this is also therapeutic. It's therapy for you to now be able to open up and release these things, because I've found it to be very therapeutic for me. And so I hope that you will be able to find freedom through your writing as well.
Yes, it does. And right now, the book is available on lulu.com, but it is coming out on Amazon. I had a little bit of issues getting it on Amazon at the same time, but like I said, I'm trusting you, God. There was a reason it wasn't, but it's supposed to be released on Amazon on December, I think 21st, something around there. So look for it on Amazon around Christmas time. Lulu.com right now. But yeah, I'm really excited, and I thank you so much for this opportunity. I always love speaking with you, because you exude everything that he is.
Oh wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on. Well, you'll always be a friend of the show, and someone I consider a friend. So thank you, Miss Cynthia.
Thank you.
All of you that are tuning in tonight, we have been speaking with Miss Cynthia Ferguson. She's got so many amazing things going on. Make sure that you reach out to her if you want to play a part in helping to pour into the lives of the Wolfettes and the Wolverines. So make sure that you reach out to her, and make sure that you tune in on Thursday night, where we'll have another episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. Good night, Cynthia. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
If you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, email Stephanie at stephaniemseatontheauthor@gmail.com.